I heartily welcome all the honorable dignitaries and participants on this virtual platform for the national webinar on the topic Experiential Teaching and Learning. As you know very well, the college has been conducting a chain of webinars till today. Hundreds of national and international webinars have been conducted on different topics. Various fields. Webinar series are to exchange knowledge, enrich knowledge, and to find answers and solutions to questions and problems respectively for the benefit of the society and the nation. The webinar series is going on very successfully, and it is because of the chief organizer and chairperson of this webinar series, Honorable Principal Dr. M. Ambedkar, sir. I heartily welcome you, sir, as the presiding authority of this webinar series. I am very pleased to welcome today's honorable chief guest and keynote speaker, Dr. Monika Sethi, Sharma of Academics at K.K.Modi University. Ma'am, I heartily welcome you on behalf of the organizing committee of webinar series Shri Kumarswami College, Ausa. I also welcome all the honorable organizing committee members, Vice Principal ESD Misal sir, Junior College Supervisor Ravindra Karanje sir, MCVC Supervisor Praveen Udge sir, IQAC Coordinator Dr. Sanjay Kale sir, Dr. Anita Dhole ma'am, Dr. Sudhir Garad sir, Ambadas Khildare sir, Dr. Patwari sir, and Dr. Wadkar sir. We all are eager to listen the keynote speech, so I do not want to be a hurdle in between the keynote speech. So I would like to invite Dr. Anita Dhole ma'am for the introduction of today's honorable invited speaker. Please ma'am, welcome.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. You are welcome to this grand national and international webinar series. Personality, respected Dr. Ambedkar MM, and all the resource persons and the punctual participants. I am very thankful to respected principal for giving me this opportunity to introduce resource person on this virtual platform. Many special thanks goes to organizing committee members and a big thanks to all the respected participants. Those are joining daily from all over India and abroad also, and they are making this series a very successful series. So it's my pleasure. I am here to introduce today's keynote speaker, Honorable Dr. Monika Sethi Sharma ma'am, who is Vice-Chancellor and Dean Academic of the K.K.Modi Durg at K.K.Modi University. Title of speech is Experiential Teaching and Learning. Dr. Monika ma'am has done her post-graduation in Economics and Business Management with 25 years of academic experience with the best of the institutes and universities across the country. She completed PhD in philosophy and she is recognized as guide and external guide at a different PhD panels. Under her guidance, 3 have awarded PhD and 6 are in stage of submitting the thesis. She chaired as Dean for Commerce and Management and Director Incubation and Innovation cell at Kalinga University, Raipur. Currently, she is as VC and academic dean of university. As a teacher, she has been honored with the Best Teacher Award in Outstanding Teaching. She was also rewarded with Excellence Award at Working and Outstanding Leadership Award as a leader. She published 30 research papers in national and international conference, and more than 25 papers are published in national and international journals. She is also known as a trainer at management development programs and faculty development programs in public and private sectors and business colleges across the country. She has conducted various national and international level conferences, seminars, and workshops. She is an expert in management methodologies, experiential learning, innovations, and creative teaching to meet academic excellence. She is an entrepreneur focused on uplifting of student communities by connecting the dots and innovative ideas. So with this introduction, I would like to request today's keynote speaker, Honorable Dr. Monika ma'am. Please start your speech. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so very much, Professor Anita. It was really very kind of you to take so much of time to introduce me. Let me start with, I'm extremely sorry there is some power cut in our area, and thank you so much for welcoming me. Experiential learning is our talk which we all will be discussing, and I want to make it more interacting rather than I speaking up, because I personally feel that it should not be one way, because there will be very less which I'll be knowing and there will be much more which you will be sharing with me. So when we talk about experiential learning, we think that it's a new concept which has come into the existence. But it is not like that. In India, experiential learning was from the initial stage. When we talk about experiential learning, what is first thing which come into our thought process? Anyone? What is the thing which comes into our thought process, or anything which trigger us? What is that experiential learning? Anyone? Please? Anyone? Like what immediately that word experiential learning says? Professor Aditya, Prashant, sir, anyone? What is the first word which comes? What is the thought which comes when we say experiential learning? Learning by doing. Very, very nicely said. Yes, ma'am. Learning by doing. That is experiencing what you are doing. If I just take you back to our tradition learning of our Indian system, when we say that we used to have the different vargas where people like King's son, they were the Kshatriyas, and they were being told to learn the different shastras, different techniques of war by their teachers, and they were being sent to the forest. Please imagine that scenario, that the son of kings were being sent to a place which was not of the same comforts which they were being having at their Rajmahal. So just think it over. Why these sons of kings, the prince, were being sent to those jungles? Anyone? They could have afforded, they could have brought the Guruji to their Acharya to their mahal. Like what we do, we have the tuition teachers nowadays coming home services to our kids. So why that was at that time it was not being done? Any answer? Think it over. Why at that time? Why the king would have not called all the acharyas, saying that it was a process of learning by doing? It was basically why? Because they wanted them to understand the war will not happen in the palace. So they wanted to make it sure the prince of that particular kingdom should be able to adjust with the life of the jungles. He must be able to adjust and understand what is being required in the difficult time and how they have to survive. And that was a reason that they used to send their kids towards the jungle. It was something that learned, experienced by doing the things. The war situation was being created. The environment was being given to the prince. So as they understand that what they have to do and how they have to perform their duties. Apart from it, they wanted them to be connected with the local peoples. They wanted that the prince should know what the people are being experiencing about their kingdom. So this was very, very, very important. And that was the time where the experiential learning was being there in our country and we never realized. We started realizing when it has come from the Western. We started realizing when it was being told that experiential learning is, learning while doing it. We always say if you say I'll not learn or I will not remember more. If you ask me to do, I will remember it lifelong. So that was a concept of experiential learning came. I just share an example, and I'm very sure that I also want to listen all the examples from you people. When I took my son to a school, that was a concept school, and believe me, 16, 17 years back, the concept schools were not being very popular in India. So when I went with my son to that particular school, there was a training program. It was orientation program for the parents was being given to us. There was a trainer. Minutes. Continuously, the instructions were being given to us to copy the things very rightly. So we copied it, and after 20 minutes, so this cat, how is cat? What are your experience about the cat? And this is where the cat is. And
then it's audible, ma'am.
It's audible, sir?
Yeah, it's audible.
Thank you so very much. So, when that cat was being brought to us, and later on it was being told to us that now you have to write an essay on the cat. Nothing was being taught to us. It was a discussion forum. So we all started writing. And at the end of the day, again one paper came and they said write an essay about the same essay which was being written over there. Believe me, almost all, if I just say 1 or 2%, apart from those super intelligent parents, we all forgot what was being written on the board. We could not write that essay which was being written, which was being asked us to copy. Rather, we were more comfortable on this particular essay. So just imagine, we at that age enjoyed more what we do. So when we talk about the subject, more interesting, oriented, how you make it more experiential learning, how you make it as role play, discussion of the situations, how do you make it? Like, can anybody give me an example? That will be really nice. Prashant sir, can faculty also participate rather than chatting? Can they?
We show them more pictures, some images.
I would like to share an example by my side, sir, madam.
Please, sir. Please, sir.
I am from physics faculty, so I given a project means to explain on development in bicycle. It was for first one wheel, then one wheel was large, one wheel was small. Then afterwards 2 wheels were same, and then afterwards for night traveling there should be a lamp and brakes. All these things are how developed and how the super bicycle is now existing in the market. So it was thought simple, but they have written what they having the experience about the bicycle. After that, one day I explained them to give example of Facebook, how Facebook is working, how is the gender are participating, which age group is there, what they are using by this. So all these experiential learning examples are very good for the students, and they evolved very nicely. Thank you.
That's the reason, so physics classes are always everybody's favorite. Because at physics classes, they immediately get connected to the real world. Because every physics teacher, they tell them that how the physics is being taught, how it is being applicable in the real life. And that's the reason the physics classes are always said by every child that this is more interesting. So thank you so much, Dr. for sharing this particular example. Anybody else? Anybody else, if you can please, how you have made your classes more interesting? Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I'm Mangalden from ASSMS College of Engineering, Pune. Actually, I always use this methodology teaching in electrical engineering. 2 days before only, I can tell you my video lectures on one unit, and I had told them that you go through that video, my lectures, and your assignment will be performed in the class. So that assignment was in the group to design games, technical games on the topic of any one choice from the unit. So I was expecting them to just realize with the role play also, because the concepts were more confusing and theoretical. So it should be presented in a joy way. That was the objective. So I think they learn more with a joy and learning by doing.
That's so good, ma'am. That's so good. What was the topic which you were being teaching, and what is your subject?
I want teach engineering. I'm teaching high voltage engineering, and this unit was lightning theories. How lightning comes from the sky to the ground, and different three scientist theory were there. But a lot of confusion happens in the three theories. So that was the thing, and protection against lightning. So few groups did a role play on that. One group just made a technical song and technical riddles also. So like that, I'm making them to carry out the activities by putting internal term work marks. So everybody has to do it seriously. So that was the intention.
That's really nice, ma'am. Kudos to you. That is something very nice, because engineering is area where we have to make.
Madam is also the resource person, very active. Electrical lines comes from field, from out of our village. Then it has 3 lines. After that, when it comes in the our village, then it is 4 lines, 5 lines. Why these are 5 wires are there? Define one by one. So they define as per that. Then I explained that 3 are the 3 phase, 4th is the street light, and 5th is the earthing. So they should have to think, see why there are 4 lines for one electricity, and when we give connection to our home, there is only single phase or 3 phase, one line. So that these are the examples with the daily routine they see, and they are curious about to know this all these things. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. I have one doubt, ma'am, as because I take this session as a learning by doing or game pedagogy. But what you are talking, just experiential learning, I think experiential learning be having some different meaning rather than this learning by doing or dynamic classroom.
What according to it, ma'am?
No, I think suppose they are learning this lightning theory, they have to experience it. Might be on virtual lab, like that activities also I had conducted on virtual lab, demonstrating them how it happens and simulating them and making students video and then posting their videos on the YouTube channel. So I think experience means they have to experience the theory which we are teaching them.
Exactly. They have to experience what we teach them. So I'll just give you an example, maybe you will understand. We'll all get connected, and as the teachers, we all do this particular thing, but we don't put it in this particular basket. That's the only thing. Like I'll tell you, like what we used to do. I'm a management faculty, so I always say that we learn management from everywhere, because management is a learning process, right? So right from even celebrating a wedding at a home, it also needs management. I used to always say this. So what we used to do is like in the 2 years of the course, the last semester, they used to have one mega event. The last organization where I was been working, we had one event called Endeavor. So that was an event where the whole management learning was being coming up. Now I'll explain you how it was being done. So what we used to do is like the students used to take the different specialization. Like we have the specialization like finance, HR, marketing. So majorly these are the three major specializations which a child takes. So what we used to do is we used to say, okay, now you have learned about finance, you have learned about marketing, you have learned about HR. Now what you need to do is you have to create one learning out of that. Like say for example, performance appraisal, or say for example, recruitment process. Now if it is a recruitment process, you need to check it out how the recruitment process will be the best in which of the media where it will be best fitted. Like say for example in the press media, or maybe in the newspaper, maybe in the LinkedIn, maybe in the radio, where will you post recruitment process? Why? How much it will cost? You know, why, where, how? This has to be done by the students. So they used to create the different games. They used to give the presentation that how we have to make that course interesting in front of the other students. Now they have created the games. Now what we used to do, we used to make the posters. And now we used to send all the students that you made the game, you have to bring your own sponsorship for the event. You need to manage, you need to sell your product. It is your game, you created it, now you have to go to the market, you have to sell that particular game, come out with a sponsorship. Now, when the students come with a sponsorship, there used to be a finance secretary, there used to be a marketing secretary. You know, the marketing people used to go for the marketing, sponsorship. Finance people used to manage the finance. So, whatever the money has come, how you will conduct the event, what all prizes you want to keep, what all decoration you want to keep, how much you want to spend for the lunch, how much you spend it for the transportation, everything they used to make it down. Then the beauty of that particular event was, now even to call up the student from the different college was an effort of our own students. You have to make the calling team, you have to make a visiting team, you have to make it sure that students are being coming to the college. The game was not been over there, ma'am. The students used to be very happy when they used to have lots of registration. Registration used to go for 250, 300 students, and my students used to jump. They used to say, wow, we have done a good job. Now the job was that different events, like say for example, HR, finance, marketing, these three used to happen at the different classrooms. So we used to say, now you have to market your own specialization. You have to make it sure that the students participate in HR. You have to make it sure that the students participate in marketing. So it is now your outlook that how the client or how the students will choose either finance or marketing or HR. Believe me, ma'am, that used to be such a great learning of the students. And then they used to have lots of awards, they used to have lots of cultural things, all well and done. At the end of the day, they used to come out with their presentation that what specialization they were having, how their events went, why the participation was low, how did the staffing, that means how was the teamwork was being done, what were the team conflicts which they felt, how they resolved it, what was the gain of that particular event, what was the losses, what was the learning. Believe me, ma'am, the students who used to participate in that endeavor, they never ever used to forget that. They used to say the confidence, the learning which they used to have it, believe me, no management book would have given that. So that's a small, pretty thing, but believe me, we used to have like 2 to 3 months to practice it. So all that management learning, I used to say, that was being given in that one particular event. So we used to create such things. One day in the shoe of a salesman. Teaching selling, teaching marketing is a different platform altogether. But what we used to say is, go be there with one of a salesman for whole day. Check it out that how they are doing the selling? What are the best things? What are the essentials? So my students used to learn it in this particular manner, and believe me, ma'am, they don't, or believe me, all the teachers who are with me, they never used to remember what was really taught in each class, but they used to really remember the different activities which were being planned for them. So we really have to do this. At K.K.Modi University also, the uniqueness over here is like for 4 hours, we teach one subject, one topic. So it is not like typical timetable, where physics, chemistry, mathematics, or civil engineering, those topics will be there. No, it is not like that. For us, what we do is we say, teach them one module, but teach them like a workshop. If you're teaching them marketing perception, let them understand marketing perception. Give them project, let them go to the market, let them learn it, let them come back. Then let them give the presentation. Let them feel that what is that market perception. So this is how we teach. Anybody agrees to me? Anybody disagrees to me? Anybody have questions for me?
No, ma'am, actually, it's very fantastic what you are doing. I like that you have changed your curriculum according to that model at a time, and that is really required because I, as a subject chairman of my university, I also redesigned my curriculum and just introduced two practicals for my subject. One practical full of these activities where students are doing activities related to the subject material science, and I am finding it's really very works very well from the enhancing learning outcome, and students love these activities. But we need to change and design curriculum accordingly because for normal subjects my teachers are not able to do all these things, but as a subject chairman I could redesign curriculum, so that is working very well and students are also taking seriously. So your idea of just model designing at a time, it's very good idea. I think all universities should think in this way, and curriculum has to design in that way. Because if we are considering this in other form of activities, many teachers are not considering that much focus. They are just focusing on syllabus coverage and this. They are not understanding values of this pedagogy.
Exactly, ma'am. Thank you so much. If you have been thinking in that manner, if one or two professors think in that manner, believe me, we are going to change this education system because we need to understand at our time, we belong to that era when whatever the teacher used to say, that used to be everything for us. We used to only have one or two books. And we used to read either books or we used to write the notes of whatever the professor used to say. But today we need to understand that there are Google uncles, there are the different people who have been helping the students. So we really have to compete as a best teacher among those students, and we have to put more life in the class. So that is very much required. Anyone else want to share their examples? Anyone else? Please, it's an open discussion. Anyone else? Because I didn't want you to bring the presentation in front of the professors. I thought it will be more better if we. Anyone? Deepa ma'am, Deepak sir, Dr. N.K. Jain sir, Dr. Bandhu. Any Vidyasagar sir, anyone, Kishore sir, Kiran Das sir, anyone, Prakash sir. I can see so many participants. Please, if anybody can share their experience.
Yes, ma'am.
Please, Prashant.
Actually, we are eager to listen from your side,
Oh,
today. This
is that everybody?
I'm teaching
We all know.
diagram, which is in the textbook, and we ask the question students to how to feel, what you feel about these pictures or images like that. Now this is the formula we can use while teaching in the classroom.
That's perfect, sir. That's perfect. Even we also do that. What we do is, I don't know. I'm a management faculty, so if anybody management faculty is there, they can, they can support me in that. What we used to do nowadays, sir, the image perceptions. Image perception is like, even nowadays in the market, the image perception is being also analyzed, that where do a customer or a consumer looks when they get into a store, or when they get into the mall. So what are the pictures, what are the perception comes in their mind before they come for the buying of a product. So those are the small things which we teach the students, as well as we ask them to go to the mall and experience that. We tell them, why do you pick up this particular biscuit, not the other biscuit? Why the popular biscuits are being kept in the back rack? Why the new products are being shown in the new racks? How the display of the retail shops is being done. So those are the tiny small things we make the student visit. Like say for example, if we printing of the paper is being done, how it is being circulated. And then nowadays, because of the social media, how to create the website, how to create the series, we take them to the social media firm also. So now what we do is, taking them all the four places, now what we do is we give them the small assignments. We tell them, now if you have to brand your own university, or if you have to brand a tailor shop, or if you have to brand a mushroom cultivator, how you are going to use the medias and how you are going to promote your product in these medias. Believe me, the learning of the student is amazing. Now, a student got that mushroom cultivations. We told them that you have to promote the mushroom in the social media, or you have to mushroom. Now, you tell me which will be the minimum budget, which will be the more effective one. So the students were being going to the different four media centers again, and they were being talking about that if we have to put it in the newspaper, how much it will be the cost. If we have to go for the newspaper, how much it will be costing. If we go for the radio, how much it will be costing. And then we started asking the customers that if you have to buy a mushroom, which media will impact you for buying the mushrooms? So at the end of the day, they came with a solution to me. They said, ma'am, we don't have to go to social media, we don't have to go to anywhere. We only have to go to the vegetable vendors, and we have to make the small creative posters for that mushroom. And we have to make the packing more interesting, so as it is a catchy one. So what they did was, they made a small poster saying that the organic mushroom has been available next shop. And those were the poster which was being kept. And the job given to them was, they had to analyze that after doing this particular activity, is there was an increase in the mushroom sales or not. When you think it was a very, that an MBA, they think that it's a white collar job, and they have to do what? They have to go to a sabji mandi and they have to sell the mushrooms. It is not selling of the mushroom, but they have to make it sure that the mushroom is being increased by the sales. But believe me, it was such a great learning of the children. When they came out with a report, it was such a wonderful learning for them. It was the supply chain management was being taught to them. They knew that how to make it sure that the mushrooms, which are very delicate, which has to be kept fresh, how do it reaches to the customer on time and with the same taste which was being packed at that particular time. I was amazed when I was reading their project report. So believe me, it was more easier way of me to teach the students the marketing strategy. that how you have to think out of box for your marketing strategy. So this is how we do it for our management boards. If it is HR, if it is finance, this is what we do. Anyone else, if they want to tell me, how do they come out with experiential learning? So experiential learning is basically a concept which is being delivered to the students, and that concept, how it is being applicable in the real life, it's being shared it with them. They are being told to experience that particular topic with a process or with an activity, and then the report is being generated and we check it out that are their low order thinking is going for high order thinking or not, are they being able to apply their thinking or not. So that is where the experiential learning comes into the existence. Anyone else? We just have 10 more minutes. Anyone else, if you want to share your experience? Anyone? Anyone else? Prashant sir, anyone else? Or the thanks has already started coming up. Thank you so much, Sanjay sir. Thank you. Thank you. We could have done it more better with more of the slides, but the notes I will be sharing with Prashant sir, so as the notes can be shared with the professors. I wanted this experiential learning to be more like a talk and more discussion among each other rather than one way of communication. Because if it was just one way communication, I was not doing justice to experiential learning. So I thought, let it be without any slides, let it be a discussion mode. Anyone else, they want to share their experience? Over to you, Prashant sir. Anyone, if they want to share it?
Well, sir, please communicate. Otherwise, I will communicate them.
I'm looking really forward, sir, because all are so senior and everybody is being dealing with the subjects where the innovation is being required. We all have to work it on how we meet with the course objectives.
Our teachers always visit as a project work to mall, to clean the fort and history. So they have the projects and they did their continuous efforts to do experiential learning to students by our groups. All these things, communication, giving communication, commerce teachers and other teachers, science teachers.
Shri sir, I want to listen it from you. Thank you so much for the feedback, but it will be really nice if you can also share where, sir, it is being required, but as students skill.
We got the clear concept how to make the class interactive and how to give its benefit to students. So thank you, ma'am. And now, after this keynote speech, the topic is open for questions and answers. So I request participants if they have any query or doubt. Please, participants.
If you don't have question, there are only two conclusions which are being drawn. Either everybody has understood everything, or the other one is nobody has understood anything. So any of it.
We understood everything, no doubt.
Then the concept was made very clear and the session was so interactive. So there is no any chance for questions and doubts. There might have not been any question from any participant. Now after such an illustrative keynote speech, the person of this webinar series for his opinion and concluding words. Please, sir, welcome.
Sir, you're in mute, sir. We can't hear you, sir.
You are not audible.
Thank you, Professor Karade sir. And today's resource person, in charge of Vice-Chancellor, Dr. Monika madam, and all the participants joining daily here, including our Vice Principal, S.D. Misal sir, IPC Coordinator Sanjay Kale sir, Dr. Anita Dole madam, Dr. Anil Wadkar, Dr. Prashant Ugade sir, and all my participants, colleague Professor Jain Karan sir, Jamudra Kadam sir, and daily joining all members, including Mallikarjun Karasbi sir, Dr. Mallikarjun Karasbi sir, especially joined here. All the resource person madams of this series, those who are joining here as per their available time, and for the next episodes also they will join. So today actually it is the festival of our Gudi Padwa. I wish all the best of the festival wishes to all of you. We after when scheduling the speech we can't see the festival. We don't expect any gap in the webinar series. This is running from 2 years with a few major gaps of the examination, all these things. But we are happy to daily new. Every resource person contributed something new for us daily, because daily there are different topics they have prepared with, and they are giving their all the best for our all the teachers, and we all are engaged enjoying these webinars, and we are applying for the world record of this webinar series with all women resource persons on this 15th June. So you are the part of that. We are happy because we are happy because all resource persons have cooperated very nicely, and all the participants are also cooperated nicely. Today's topic was very much related to us. What is experiential learning? How the students are more effectively learn from experience, all the examples. And being a vice chancellor, you are still a teacher, best teacher, and your students are so lucky that as you are the guide or teacher of them. Thank you, madam. You also, I was just the principal from 7th year, and before that I was also teacher. You remembered me all these my teaching days because interactively. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. You were really very kind, and I'm looking forward that your record is being created. Thank you so very much, and Happy New Year to everyone. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
sir.
Happy New Year.
Now,
Thank you.
on behalf of Shri Kumarswami College Ausa and the organizing committee of National and International Webinar Series, I am here for form a note of thanks. First of all, I would like to thank Honorable Ma'am, who has accepted the invitation of our college and graced us with such an illustrative lecture on the topic experiential teaching and learning, and we really enjoyed it. Ma'am has spared her precious time for us even on this day of festival. So on behalf of the organizing committee of Shri Kumarswami College Ausa, I sincerely thank you, ma'am. I also thank chief organizer and chairperson of this webinar series, Honorable Principal Dr. M.M. Bedkar sir, who is taking a lot of efforts to continue this webinar series, and the series is becoming successful because of the punctual participants and resource persons from all over the world and different parts of the country who are sharing their precious knowledge and enriching our knowledge. So please do not forget to fill feedback link to have the certificate. And now at the end, with the permission of Honorable Chief Organizer and Chairperson of this webinar series, I declare here that today's webinar is over. Thanks to all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Please permit me to leave. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
For your valuable time.
Thank you.
You are present over here. We are very really enjoyable session today.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
छान झाला सर आजचा वेबिनार.
हा सर, मॅडम एवढं छान सांगितलं गोष्टी आणि सगळ्या गोष्टी.
आज मला जॉईन होती वाटलं होतं त्यांनी, पण झाले जॉईन, कारण 5 मिनिट लाईट गेली म्हणजे त्यामुळे वेळ झाला. म्हणजे थोडासा 5 मिनिट लेट सुरू झाला, पण चांगलं झाला आजचा वेबिनार. आपला वाया गेला नाही दिवस आजचा.
नाही
सगळ्या
गोष्टी प्रॅक्टिकली छान सांगितलं. शॉर्ट मध्ये सांगितलं
बरं झालं, सगळ्यांचेच आभार.
सर फीडबॅक लिंक नाही का?
पाठले मी, अजून एकदा पाठवतो, काही प्रॉब्लेम नाही.
हो आले ते, पण डिमांड करतायत परत.
अच्छा, ते उशीरला जॉईन झालेले असतील, त्यांना फीडबॅक लिंक दिसत नाही ना.